I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, go to Open Gym Graders on Friday. Don't be broke. Pay your advisory teacher $5. Be woke. Yeah. Go to. Wait, I'm about to kill it. No, you're not.
Sixth grade Team Butler won the golden ticket battle with 920 tickets.
Yeah, we did. Team IUPUI won for 7th grade with a total of 1,153 tickets.
And for 8th grade, Team Purdue won with 349 tickets.
Turn in your golden tickets, kids.
Haley, it's done.
Oh, oops.
Did you not get up when they said
Well,
one?
ignore that.
Take your paper.
Hello, Falcon. Hi. This is more for you.
You forgot the R.
No, okay, anyway. We can be the greatest school in the whole district if we all go to Fazoli. Oh no. For Avid, right? Yes. And then they can sponsor us if we post it on social media how much the proceeds go to Avid. Okay? And on this paper here, it says on February 20th, 11 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Hold on, but that's this Thursday.
Yes, this Thursday,
This
Falcons.
Thursday.
The only way we're gonna win this game plan on the field, okay, is if we go to Fazoli.
Yes.
And mention Avid, okay?
Northview Avenue.
Yes, Northview Avid. You don't want to say Westland Avid or Eastwood Avid. You want to say
Northview Avid.
Thank you.
Yes.
Come again.
I have another plan, okay? So, like, I watch.
Calling out on middle school girls.
Are you interested in rugby?
Well, the first practice starts on Thursday, February 20th
If you can't make it to the first practice, you can come on February 24th.
at door 28 at North Central High School.
The time would be 6 p.m. through 7:30.
I put my armor on, show you how strong I am. I put my armor on, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a pusher with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play.
freedom. Oh, freedom.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
A slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my
The time has come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, to choose our better history, to carry forward that precious gift, that noble idea passed on from generation to generation, the God-given promise that all are equal, all are free, and all deserve a chance to pursue their full measure of happiness.
As time went on and the quest for civil rights continued, African Americans became divided in terms of their philosophy. Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were the two leaders who symbolized the different approaches to equality.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist minister and without a doubt the most influential, inspirational figure of the civil rights movement.
King grew up in Georgia. His father's family had been sharecroppers in a poor farming community, and his mother's family had been in the ministry.
An extremely intelligent young man, King skipped both 9th and 11th grade, enrolling at Morehouse College in Atlanta at age 15.
King floated through his first few years of college without much direction until deciding at the end of his junior year to join the ministry.
Morehouse President Benjamin E. Mays took a special interest in King, viewing him as a potential force for social change and encouraging him to continue his studies.
After earning a sociology degree from Morehouse, he went on to earn a doctorate from Boston College by age 25. It was in Boston that he met Coretta Scott. The two married and had 4 children together.
King rose to prominence as a civil rights leader through his work with the Montgomery bus boycott of 1955, sparked by the arrest of Rosa Parks.
In 1957, he and 60 other ministers and civil rights activists band together to form the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Their first task as a unified organization was taking on the discriminatory voting laws that prevented African Americans from taking part in American democracy.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. became heavily influenced by the teachings of Indian leader Mahatma Gandhi, who believed firmly in nonviolent resistance and peaceful protest.
King adopted this approach for the U.S. civil rights movement. His vision for equality is one of love and acceptance.
He played a prominent role in many tremendous civil rights milestones, including 1963's March on Washington, the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, among other notable successes.
On April 4, 1968, while standing on the balcony of his hotel room in Memphis, Tennessee, King was killed by a sniper bullet shot by former convict James Earl Ray.
The nation mourned the loss of King, but his legacy lived on.
Malcolm X was an American civil rights leader and activist. His father, Earl Little, was an outspoken Baptist minister and avid supporter of Black nationalist leader Marcus Garvey.
He was a target for the Legion, a white supremacist group. Because of this, the family had to move frequently.
When Malcolm was just 4, their family home was burned down, and 2 years later, his father was found dead lying across the town's trolley tracks.
The police ruled both accidents and did not pursue a criminal investigation.
The tragic events of his childhood drove Malcolm's mother to mental illness. When she was institutionalized, he bounced around from foster home to foster home.
The lack of stability in his life and negative experiences in school led Malcolm to a life of crime. He was arrested on burglary charges in 1946 and sentenced to 10 years in prison.
In prison, Malcolm continued his education and studying writings of the Nation of Islam.
The Nation of Islam taught that white society actively worked to keep African Americans from empowering themselves and achieving political, economic, and social success. They advocated for a nation state of their own, separate from the one inhabited by whites. After his release from prison, Malcolm became a leader in the Nation of Islam and quickly drew a following.
His fame and notoriety continued to grow, and he spread a message that was starkly different from Martin Luther King.
Malcolm X believed that African Americans must take their rights by any means necessary, including violence.
His message resonated with African Americans who were tired of the slow process being made by other Black leaders.
On February 21st, 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated while delivering a speech at Manhattan's Audubon Ballroom in New York.
He was shot 15 times by members of the Nation of Islam. He was pronounced dead on arrival at New York's Columbia Presbyterian Hospital.
The white man pays Reverend Martin Luther King, subsidizes Reverend Martin Luther King, so that Reverend Martin Luther King can continue to teach the Negroes to be defenseless. That's what you mean by nonviolence. Be defenseless. Be defenseless in the face of one of the most cruel beasts that has ever taken the people into captivity. That's this American white man.
Malcolm X did serve a role. I think he played a role in pointing out the problem, calling attention to it, but his great problem was an inability to emerge with a solution.
Malcolm represents that fire, that fight, that refusal to let anybody define who we are. King represents our desire to get along with everybody, including whites.
Check it out!
Enough of this trouble, I think I got the basics down. See you later.
Check it out!